Hi, John Wanoa here in Auckland, Otahu, New Zealand. Which is going straight up to Facebook from YouTube. I've been on YouTube since 2008 or 2007, all the way through. And this is just another one of about 1,600 affidavit videos that are looking at legalese with robot Microsoft Copilot that's writing up a lot of the cases that are put together in our own unique native magistrate King's Bench Court here in New Zealand on Zoom around the world. So it's graphic and it's raw and, as far as I'm concerned, accurate and clear, cut straight into the British Crown, Westminster Parliament, where the law is quite different to the American Congress federal government law. So they have a state law and a federal law there. So I'm working in with Senator John Neely Kennedy. He's a Irish man in Louisiana, and he's a long-time senator or attorney that knows the law of the old school, and he's 2 years younger than me. So I'm 46 now. No, 76, not 46, 76. I wish it was 46, but 76. And he's just a young spark that's bringing to justice certain people in the parliament that's running it off the rails. And so Britain doesn't have a federal government and can't perform as well as a well-seasoned American judge. Okay, so I'm in the court judge system of Irish Judge John Rogan in Helensville, that's west of Auckland, in the Awaroa Native Magistrate Court. That was the first mortgage court and on record as commercial operations of the Freemason that kicked off the first business plan of the Moai tidal turbine energy bridge. That you can see, I put it on the website, you can see the dates of everything I've done all the way back to 2007 with Mohi Manukau. He's passed away now, left me with the Freemason legacy to carry on. So I'm the only one that can talk for the Freemason, Mohi Timati Manukau IV. That's 4 generations of Manukau Mohi. And he was a surveyor with John Rogan holding the stick on the other end while surveying the lands right through the Kaipara and all over the country where they went. And he showed me where every unmarked grave was. I've got it in my head where to go. I can go right there, and including Rawiri, Rafiti, up in the Bay of Islands. There were Ref Manukau is buried there. He's in King William the Fourth time, there buried, and he was the one with the Native Land Act, 1862 Native Land Act of New Zealand, and Australia's using that same Native Land Act of Rewharewha Manukau from Waiuku on the west coast of New Zealand and through Pukekohe, Bombay Hills, over the top of the Bombay Hill, and into Clevedon, Maraetai Beach, and on the east coast, all that land was his. He sold it to King William IV and through Queen Victoria. So I'm putting Queen Victoria Trust as its lead trustee. Myself went to Westminster to have a meeting with the Parliament, but got thrown out of the country and thrown into the mental home for over 3 years of torture. And so that's put aside right out of the way. Now I'll deal with that in the court at one stage. All those doctors in Middlemore Hospital, you're going on the stand, as well as 43 people in Cook Street, Auckland, you're going on a stand, and you've got to go into the Supreme Court in London and the Privy Council, because I've got it set up with the Quantexa money launderers, they're experts, and Brian Farrow. He's the CEO there, and he's not going to pull any punches about this one, but I want to go with John Neely Kennedy, who's just passed a new act, the Born in America Act, and they've got to ratify it yet and put it into law. It's not quite into law yet, so my robot is not recognizing it as law yet, and I am recognizing it as law because it got a 51 to 49 vote in favor of passing from both sides of the aisle in the Senate, in Congress. The Republicans and the Democrats voted in favor of Born in America Act. So I'm going to enforce that here in New Zealand tomorrow in a court hearing online, live like this, and spell it out. The Born in New Zealand Act, I will be forcing that. And you, if you've broken it, like John Tamiheri and Willie Jackson, they are the ones that are right in front of everybody at the moment, hijacking all the money, tax for their own pocket. And no matter who it is, a Maori or anybody who's breaking the law, as far as I'm concerned, you're going in the Supreme Court, subpoenaed into the Supreme Court in London. You've got to find your own way there and put the bond up. I've got a bond of $1 trillion note. If you haven't got it, you're going to lose because Donald Trump didn't pay his bond, and so they're going to seize his property by asset forfeiture order of the court. So I'm going to do the same thing here through John Neely Kennedy Act. Okay, I'm going to use the act. I'm going to put it together with the robot, but he'll have to listen to me because he is rewriting everything to make it friendly, and I'm brutal and writing like a pirate because I'm acting pirate. To anybody who's a pirate, watch out. The law is coming after you with the Irish brain of John Rogan and John Neely Kennedy, the same Irish brain, like this one. It's white in the middle and brown on the outside. Okay, the native Tahitian and the Irish white brain, the matter that matters. Okay, so there we've got the indigenous Wanoa from Tahiti, East Island, and Raiate Island, and the Irish from Northern Ireland, Belfast, and that side of me, the Cosgrove family of lawyers, and the Rogan judges. The Irish are mixed up with the Catholics there, and so the Catholics took over the Irish side of St. Patrick. Is my authority with the flag. You'll see the 8-point star in 4 corners. That's north, east, south, west of the world. I'm telling John Neely Kennedy that I'm going with him around the world with his American flag on dry land with the 51 stars that's stuck to America, but ours goes around the world. I'm going to tell him, put it together in America because they're not listening to me in London. The AI of Google, Meta, has a different story on my documents, but not as intense as the Microsoft Bill Gates robot AI. And so there's the difference. I went back to the Microsoft AI after a 10-day stay, and because he was not listening to me. And now I've gone back, but not entirely happy, but still writing it up as if there was nothing wrong. Okay, so he wants real facts about Donald Trump. I can't talk about him anymore because it's not fact written up in law. He only sticks to law. I'm telling him, no, he's going to get jailed. And he says, you can't say that because there's no evidence of him going to jail. Well, I'm just assuming, like how they all assume their authority in America and all over the place, the same as in Wellington, New Zealand. They assume that they are the crown when they're not. So, dear, I'm just going to ring John up now and see if I can get through and quit the talking and go straight into the phone. I'll try. It's about 12 midday there now, and it's 6:21, 6:23 a.m. in New Zealand, and I fell off to sleep waiting, but at least I went ahead of sleep and didn't wake up in the middle of the day there. So someone should be able to answer. Let's see if someone answers, and let's see if I can get through to him. Where's his number? How do I ring it? Well, I've got to go. Oh, shucks, I can't change that. There. I'm going to. Where's. It should have been somewhere. Hang on. I'll go and have a look. I wrote it down here, but the phone numbers are different. Hang on. Bear with me. Phone. Right. Yeah. Right. Hang on. Washington. Okay. I'll try and find the number. Office information. So I've got the number here, but it looks like it won't go through until you put another number in front, and I don't know how. I'll just have to try and see if it's here. Oh man. Hang on, I've got the camera running up there. Where is the phone? Oh, I'll just try and ring this one. Which devil knows I've not it. 2 2 2 4 4 Now, see, I always get it wrong. Number, code. I always get this wrong. Code number. Where's Alexandra? DC. DSD. I've got the number right, but it doesn't work. Hang on, I'll go and have a look. It's what to put in front of the number. Baton Rouge 225. No, where's the number to make sure to go through? It's got a code on the front of it. So this is burning up time when I should be talking. Where is the number? It doesn't put the number there. Where is it? It's got numbers there, but they don't mean a thing. They don't mean a thing. How do I contact? 225. That's not going to get through. Code for code. I'll put code for code. This is mucking around. Code for Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. What's the code? What is the thing in front of it? DC is 202. There we go. I did ring at 202, which covers the entire District of Columbia. Code 1 before 202, area code and the local number. So you've got to put a 1. Damn. The original and iconic area for DC is 202, area code 202 and 771. What is Washington, D.C. numbers start with? It starts with a 202. Where's the other number that goes in front? What is Washington, D.C. code 202? Area code, how do I dial D.C. area code? 1 plus 1, U.S. code, plus 1. Is it plus 6404 or plus 6147? Now, plus 6147 is, what is a DC code? It's a plus 1. I'll put plus 1. Stupid thing. Right, plus 1, 202, 224, 4. There we go. There we go. Our camera back.
Thank you for calling the office of Senator John Kennedy. Sorry we missed your call as we are busy assisting other callers at the moment. Please leave a detailed message along with your name and contact information. You may also reach Senator Kennedy online by visiting www.kennedy.senate.gov and clicking on the Contact the Office tab. Please know that your call is very important to us. Thank you.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Yeah, hi. Look, it's John Wanoa here in Auckland, New Zealand. I'm trying to leave a message with John Kennedy, Senator, and I've sent some email through to him last night, and in it is a proposal from me, John Wanoa, in New Zealand with a federal government flag that I want John to have a look at to see if he can connect with me and him, him being an Irish descent and me being Irish descent as well, to try to form a relationship here with our King William III flag of Ireland, Northern Ireland, King William of Orange, and he's an Orange man as well in Pennsylvania. And so I want to talk with him.
Maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. To re-record it, 4. To add to it, 5. To discard it, 6.
What did I want to do? Extend it. Hang on, I'll wait for it.
To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. To re-record it, 4. To add to it, 5. To discard it, 6.
All right, I'm just going to send it.
Invalid selection. Try again. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. To re-record it, 4. To add to it, 5. To discard it, 6.
Well, I'll just hang up and let it go through. Okay, so...
To send this message, press pound or hang up.
Where's the
To
pound?
play it, 3. To re-record it, 4. To add
There's
to it,
the
5.
pound.
To discard it.
Ah,
Your message has been sent.
okay,
If
it's
you would
gone.
like to try an extension, you may do so now. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, wow, that's gone there. And at least it's gone through. I'll try and call a bit later to try and get through to John. But at least the documents have gone through. I've sent about 6 of them. They're on my Facebook and on the website as well. No, I haven't got on the website yet, but it's on my Facebook and on the YouTube video of John and his new Born in America Act. So there, I'm going to prepare myself for a court hearing tomorrow. Will be like court hearing number 81 with the that act. I'm making an act for the Born in New Zealand Act, and that's going to drop on anyone's head that's operating trust businesses, corporations out of New Zealand somewhere else. So we're going to talk about only people born in New Zealand, sovereign soil land, native to the country, born here, and not other foreigners like St. Jones and Winston Peters and everybody working in the government here. They work from New York Stock Exchange and with the company registered there. I want the companies registered here in New Zealand that is the owner of the land. That's what that Born in New Zealand Act is. It's only for people born here and have their interests and their loyalty to New Zealand as New Zealanders. So all those Maoris who are working for Crown Sovereign of New Zealand is a foreign country, right? That's from America, where I'm going to America to stick them on a stand over there with Kennedy. You're going on a stand there with Kennedy because I'll get nowhere in Westminster. It's all gone to blazes with a third partner, and we haven't got a divorce properly, but Eddie Mitchell from here has gone and severed my contract with Mohi Manukau and John Rogan, and it is none of his business because he's a corporation in New York on the stock exchange selling you off as Maori land. Okay, so the Maori land, you got a problem. All your iwis are not here. You're filling your pockets up like John Tamahiri and Willie Jackson, the two convict prisoners in Australia, New South Wales, sucking on our native taxpayers. I'm here for the native born taxpayer. We want our own federal flag government. Okay, that's what I'm here for. The people who want their justice in their own court. That's what I'm doing, setting up. I was trying to set it up with Northern Ireland, but they've got Trump in their brain. They can keep it because I've cut it right off. I'm going with John Neely Kennedy, Irish judge, attorney, and me, an Irish judge, attorney, out of the Westminster Parliament because I got thrown out of the country. You don't want me. So I'm going to take myself to America because they are a federal flag government. We've got the federal flag, and nobody else in the world has a federal flag of a king, William III of Orange. Okay? So all those people who are in the Orange Lodge, this one's for you. Where did you get your first mortgage from? Because I'm holding the deed of title. Mortgage from the Manukau native Taiwanese African to King William III of Orange on the flag entrenched into law as a flag to go free passage through the world without being stopped at the border or stopped at the port or stopped at the airport, go straight to him. And that's what I want to do with John Kennedy because he can take it around the world with me as a native and him as a native of America, born in America, and I'm a native born in New Zealand with a indigenous native surname, and all those Maoris that jumped over me, you're going to have to go into the Supreme Court and Privy Council are set up in London with Quantexa money launderers because you're all got to own up who you are in your ID, face recognition, and your tax. You're going to get caught with that tax, just like Eddie Mitchell is going to answer to where the tax comes from. So on my Moai Crown King William III Trust, it's a proof of registration number that's there, registered in the trust office of the Company's House in London. Over 90 days, I waited for that certificate. I've got it. The robot's got it. He's made certificates. You can see on my page, he's got certificates for this, that, and everything. And that's taken a lot of hours with a robot, and I'm getting tired of robots now because it's too much for me. One person to do the whole lot. You don't need those politicians in Parliament in Wellington to tell us what to do. They can go and do their own thing, but they will get the bill from us. 970 million trillion pound note, the green pound note I'm going to print very soon, as soon as they expose the 17 trillion and where has it gone, because it's come from England, and I want John Kennedy in America to uncover it because I'm going to share it with him and the rest of the world because they've got their military. I want to keep it intact for our use as natives of America and natives of New Zealand. So the British can't do that because they don't have a federal flag and a federal government. Okay, so that's what I'm telling you. All those people in London and in Ireland and Scotland and France and the EU, you've got a identity problem of where did you get your mortgage from? I'm holding the first mortgage over your mortgage. Hmm? And sharing it with John Neely Kennedy. He's a good man and he knows the old school. And I'm old school with him. We go back to basics. When it doesn't work for you, the law, you go back to basics. Because Trump is going ahead without the Constitution. He thinks because he's president, he can do what he wants. But no, the whole Senate went against him to say, no, you've gone over the red line. You've gone and killed people that were struggling in the water and you blew them up. You and Heskett are answerable to the Senate because they're taking you to court to own up to shooting people that were struggling in the water. Instead of going to save them, you blow them up. And that's not on. Okay, that's not on. War is war. We don't cause war. You cause war. We're trying to stop the war, but you want to keep it going because for you, it's business. As usual, war. The more war, the more the business. And Trump was there in the 9/11 for his own pocket, while Kelly, 20 years of service in the Navy, was there picking up the dead bodies in the 9/11, while Trump was stuffing his pockets full of money and not caring about the people that got shot up with a plane that went straight through metal and melted the metal. That is impossible for the 9/11 to have occurred. It was made up in their head. So I'm going to leave it there. And don't worry about that because I want to focus on the Born in New Zealand Act. And Willie Jackson, you're going on a stand because you've been in FOMA, Federation of Maori Authorities, as though you are the federal government when you're not. You assume that you have that title and you rake the money in your pocket. The same as Eddie Mitchell raked the money. You fellas are all in the same pirate group. And I want you exposed and stripped. You're going to get stripped, John Tamahiri. You're going to get stripped, Willie Jackson. You're going to get stripped, Eddie Mitchell, because that's not your money that you have stolen. It is the taxpayers, native, sovereign, born people of the land. So this is the only way to fix you up is to drop the mortgage and asset forfeiture your properties and liquidate it into cash 2 bar pound note over your 1 bar pound note and your US fiat money, which comes from a painted, tainted, unpatented 1 bar pound note of the Rothschild Bank. And you've got a problem now because we got a 2 bar original King William III of Orange, 1694 Bank of England Act. I'm using that act on you, and the 1694 2 bar pound note Patterson pound note patented. Okay, so I'm using patent instruments and patented 1689 passed through Parliament Bill of Rights. The 1688 Bill of Rights is not passed into law until 1689 under only King William III of Orange because his wife died. Mary died and left him by himself with 1689 Bill of Rights Act. and 1694 Bank of England Act, and 1694 two-bar patented Patterson Scottish pound note. Okay, so I'm using those instruments with my Irish brain and with John Neely Kennedy's Irish brain and nobody else. I don't need anybody else short of a federal government flag. Okay, I just need to put the one and one together, the flag and a federal government, and we've got our federal government. Okay, because I haven't got a crew that can do a federal government in New Zealand because they got to go to school for 50 years. That's how much I know, right through the years, every little bit of it in Helensville, 10 acre mortgage land transfer block. That's where all the 10 acre blocks in the seabed and around the world and New Zealand came from, each of 257 countries. That's why I want to go around the world with America, not Britain, because they've run off with married a third partner and they've breached our contract. They've broken our contract and gone dead in the sea where they came from, dead. I'm live, talking to a live John Kennedy. That's not the family of Kennedys. That's not that family. It's completely different. Okay, so there, he's a Methodist church, which is a Britain church, and the Methodist church was in Queen Street in Auckland. That's the church that Moai wanted back. That was the first piece of land he wanted. And then it was Cook Street after that. He wanted that back too. And I'm still going to get them both back. The Methodist church, you know what they did to it? They turned it into apartments, then sold it off. The church land as real estate. That's what Trump is doing. Same thing, real estate. So I'm going into the real estate because I've got tickets in real estate. I've been through Harvey's in Remuera in Auckland, in the company, and in News and Realties real estate company in Epsom. I was in both those companies when I joined New Zealand First political party with Winston Peters right back in 2008, thereabouts. Okay, so I spent more time with Winston Peters' party than in the real estate office. I only went there to do my tidal turbine power generator bridge. So there, we've got the tidal turbine power bridge in the Kaipara Harbour. You'll see the plan there and the date on it, right back to 2012. The plan which PricewaterhouseCoopers back then approved for the funding, but I never had the money. So I said to Moai Manukau, come on, let's put a plan together with the bridge. And the bridge is 50 billion to build, 4 kilometres long, 100 metres wide, 9 stories high, and 30,000 people employed. But it's going to change now because I will have it automated. The whole thing automated by robots, and people can live there on the bridge, and everything's there. The pigs, the chickens, the cows, the steak, the everything, vegetables, vertical gardens, everything's on the bridge. There's no need to go anywhere. It's all there, making 25,000 megawatts of power. That's all those figures got approved by PricewaterhouseCoopers and Philip Taylor. He was running the PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, in Queen Street or up in Custom Street, and their office was up there on the top floor. And now he's working for the power company in New Plymouth. So he shifted there, but he still knows that we were talking about this way back then for the Kaipara Harbour. So no one can come and interfere with that contract because PricewaterhouseCoopers has got his name all over it, and Dun and Bradstreet back to 2009 when Ngā Atua e Wā Aotea was registered right back then with Mohi Manukau. He had his own hapu, Ngāti Whātua, Ngāti Whā Atua Incorporated. I was running that with him, and I was running Ngā Atua e Wā Aotea Limited at the same time. So they go hand in hand all the way through. Nothing to do with his family because he was subject to a silver bullet to his head if he uttered a word about the Freemasons' mortgage. So when he told me, I told, oh, well, and because I don't have secrets. And so there, that project is 50 billion for one bridge, and its turnover is 150 billion a year. That's from export, power, bank, 2-bar pound note, bank, to go and lend out. We can lend out at 3% or 2% and still make a big profit right through the world. I'm going to run like an IMF, spin it over 33 times, then lend it out. You see what I learned from pirates, how they make the money work for the money. Okay, I'm very smart when it comes to sitting down as a mechanic. That's my years in mechanics, is fixing problems. And this problem is not as big as a diesel engine. On the oil rigs, I worked on oil rig at the East Coast, fixing up their engines and looking after them for Shell Todd in, there was a oil rig in Te Kapa across from the Waipu River on the other side of Tiki Tiki. And I went to the other one in Tapuia Springs. I know exactly where it is. I'll dig it up. I know where it is. I know which farm it was on. I'll pinpoint it and go and look for it and then dig it up. Because they filled the concrete, took 3 weeks. Solid concrete going in, well, soft concrete, so they can drill through it. When it suits them, they covered it up for no reason but to keep it for themselves. Well, that's ours. It's our native owners of this country, born in New Zealand, act. So, dear people, get a load of that one. Don't worry about England because those fellows are Trump supporters. They can go and visit him in jail because that's what I'm saying out aloud. I'm assuming it's not real until the robot says. Okay, he doesn't believe it, so I'm going along with him because he writes it all up as legalese, takes all my words and puts it in legalese. So there, that takes me right out of talking dangerous. Okay, so I'm trying to keep clean on YouTube and do not break their rules. Do not break the Facebook's rules and comply with their ruling. Okay, so there's something I need to do. To somebody mentioned how to stop anybody from using your material, but my stuff is open for anybody to download. But if you come to use it without knowing how to do it, you must make all the spokes in this wagon wheel work with the axle in the middle, which is the mortgage key. You're the mortgage jaw, one of the spokes, one for the Queen, one for the King, one for Rothschilds, one for America, one for Australia, one for New Zealand, and so forth. One for the Musk, one for BlackRock, one for all the rich people are on one spoke, and I'm on the axle in the middle. The head lead trustee, mortgagor, or mortgagee. Sorry, not mortgagor. Mortgagor is the one that owes the mortgage. So there, all the natives born in New Zealand become creditor. All the people who are not loyal to the landowner native sovereign of New Zealand is going to get the bill. You get the bill. 8 billion people in the world get the bill. Split that into 970 million trillion pound note. They are all debtors until you come over. When you join as a member for £10, not $450 like Winston Peters is $450. You got to fork up front, and Chris Luxon is $550. How come he's $100 more, and then all the other politicians are $400 to join, and they spend that money 33 times, right? You put in your £10 here, and your £1,000 for an A share and £10 for a B share. That's it. Just 2 shares. That's it. None of this little Satoshi little shrapnel that's worth only 0.00001 of a Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin is going to zero because it doesn't pay tax. Now they want to pay tax in America because Britain said you gotta pay tax because they're the boss in London. Okay, that's where all the AIs are registered in London. Okay, so I'm not going to go back to Scarlet because it's too confusing. They've sold their license of the fintech to most of the companies. I'm going to go with Mumbai, and try them out. I'm trying them out today. At the moment, I was with Odoi, so they've kicked me out. So I'm finished with Odoi. That was a company to transfer the money through. So I'm with Revolut, which is nice. Revolut Bank is good. There's no problems with them. And I'm going to get Mumba, and try them out as well as a money transfer system. That's a lot of work. I'm doing a lot of work that not the average person can do. You can't do it standing on your own 2 feet with your surname. A Tamihana can't do that. He's not indigenous enough. He's an opportunist, property speculator. All those people like Eddie Mitchell are property speculators. Well, I'm a property speculator too. I'm going to put this AI robot right in front of you, and you're going to have to answer to the robot because the robots are very clever. Yeah, so there's somebody there. Hello, John. Somebody's put themselves up there. Anyway, I don't want to talk to anybody because my brain is wired up to the American Constitution, and because our Constitution, Newsom, is the flag, is 1835 Constitution of King William IV, and it is a municipal corporation's flag, the only municipal corporation's flag of a king in the world. And people are so dumb not to use or see what it means and just waving it around just like a protest flag. Well, it is not a protest flag. You can't fly that flag without getting law on your head because it's full of law entrenched in that flag, if you know what it means. There's 20 laws in it, and I've got them right here. You've got to go to school to learn every bit of it. Otherwise, it's no use to you. The government of Wellington has to pay the bill back to it for screwing it up and making it secondhand for their Treaty of Waitangi that has no end date. It's not a contract if it hasn't got an end date. The same as Ngāti Whātua o Kaipara has no date on their signatures on their amended treaty claim. And their treaty claim is nowhere near a Y121 treaty claim that got turned down. We got thrown out by Rachel Holbrook with the Office of Treaty Settlements, OTS, and Sir Hugh Carfro won. So everything Hugh Carfrey has done is going to get that big fat bill on his head because I know every little trick in the book that I've learned all their mistakes of Maori. And you can see them fighting now for survival with John Tamahiri right up with the Maori Party and can't show receipts. Eh? The Shrubs is telling him, where's the receipt? Where's the receipt for the money spent? I'm here for the taxpayer. That's what he's saying. So he's a different angle, but I don't go with him because he has to look after a Maori problem. I got the world problem to look after, not Maori, just a 3% of the population. So how the hell do you think people are going to follow Maori to lead the rest of the country with 3%? Hmm? Something doesn't add up. And the government is using Maori as a scapegoat because they're getting rid of them now. They're cutting off the Stanford. Um, she's cutting the Maori kids or the kids from learning Maori, and that is to me is not born in New Zealand culture. The born in New Zealand means you were born with your culture, not cut it off like what she's doing. She's only there for the Pākehās. There's nothing wrong with the Pākehās. They're born on the land too. But you don't go and kill the messenger off because the native was the actual non-white. So if you got a name like Stanford, that's not indigenous enough, like what Winston Peters say. He keeps to his Peter's name, but that's Petra. You see, the same as Pomare is Palmer. It's a white man dressed up as a black man. You gotta watch what's being said, and the robot is picking it out. He's saying that doesn't add up. That doesn't add up. That's stolen. That's nothing. That's from somewhere else. So he is very accurate. The Microsoft Bill Gates Microsoft AI Copilot is spot on as far as I'm concerned. I've got nothing against robots. I've got everything against the damage, loss, harm, and injury of living people, not dead people, living people. So Britain is still under a dead system, the same as America. They're acting dead. Everybody is dead in a court on dry land. I'm not dead in the native court of King William IV and King William III. I'm acting live video. And when they do live videos, that's a dead man talking. Those politicians in Wellington are dead men talking. And they are ripping you off. That's what they are doing. They are ripping you off. And it's about time they were pulled up and brought to justice because I'm not afraid of anybody because I'm here for the Moai statue that got stolen by your Queen Victoria. And I want him back. And wherever he stands in France, in New York City, the Moai statue is there. That's me. And standing in Dunedin with a crown on his head, that is the Moai crown that a white man stuck there. Right? Queen Elizabeth stuck it there. She bought it from a thief that stole it off East Island. And she bought it. Well, that's stolen property. Straight away, you're suspect as a thief. And in commercial terms of corporations, I'm there as a corporation flag of jurisdiction in Helensville. And if anybody plays with their contract, guess what? Your name is there, you can't get it off because the Freemasons are loyal to their brotherhood. Mohi Manukau was a brother. Bro, what shall we steal today? Ask Mohi Manukau. He'll go and square the land off with his T-square and his compass. And that's what he was doing, T-square and compass. And that's what I'm doing too, T-square and compass in the sea. And right over the top of Shane Jones. Shane Jones, this one's for you. I'm going to meet you in the High Court and the Supreme Court in London. You're going to have to pay a bond of 1 trillion, one by a pound note, as a bond. You've got to put it up because if you don't, you'll lose by default. Okay? None of you can put it up. Well, that's what I'm demanding because the Americans are telling Donald Trump, you got to put a bond up of $500,000. That's only $500,000. What about all the millions he's stolen from 9/11? What about all the people he's killed and stole their land and their belongings? You see, what about all that? Add it all up, and it's in the trillions. And there they are playing with a Bitcoin, playing with crypto to try and hide their 38 trillion debt. Well, they're spreading it over the whole world onto everyone else. And I'm doing the opposite, spreading it all over him and all his supporters. So if you're a Trump supporter, you're going to get this Born in New Zealand Act on your head with a king's mortgage flag. Okay, no one can use that flag effectively unless you got proof from Helensville that you were in fact on that court hearing with me and Moai Manukau. Otherwise, best to shut your mouth because it's going to get dangerous now with mortgage. And that's what they've been getting away with mortgages in 1948 with Palestine. They put the mortgage over Palestine and said it belongs to them. And away they went killing everybody. They're still doing it now. Now, all that Palestine, I'm going to reverse it back to Born in Palestine Act. Through this act here, Born in New Zealand and Born in America Act. Can you see what I mean? Can you see a pattern here going together with two old cronies? Eh? I'm 2 years older than John Neely Kennedy. Okay, well, I can say a lot. That's what I'm saying. I've reached my limit on seniority as the flag bearer. Don't anybody else try this with that flag. Because if you're flying that flag for the wrong reason, you get the bill straight away with John Tamahiri and Willie Jackson and Eddie Mitchell. You're on the stand. Those three people, there's plenty more of them. I can name them all. I've got Helen Clark's whole government with their photos. They're all there on the website, ready to take out one by one and strip them. They're going to get stripped because I've been 50 years stripped out from you on my land blocks. You see, I can tell you who's going to go because they don't have their business here. They can pack up and go to New York with Donald Trump and go to jail to see him every day in the jail. Okay? So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just want to make it real. And the robot's saying, be careful what you say. I said, no, I'm acting pirate. The only way to deal with a pirate is act like one and look like one and sound like one and do like one. Okay, if you can't do a pirate's job, you're not a good pirate. And I've got to get a ship yet with a flag on and put the flag on. Then go around the world anywhere. Who's that? Yeah, so it doesn't look like anybody is interested on Facebook or YouTube with me. That's all right. I don't care. I just keep my story going. The story's never going to change. Everybody else's story has changed. You can see it changing. It's changing every day. They change the name, throw it in the rubbish, and they make another one. Where is the Queen and Right of New Zealand Company? You know where? It's in the rubbish bin in Wellington, in the beehive. It's a hornet's nest in there. They threw it in the rubbish trash there. Then they made a new one out of thin air, Crown Sovereign of New Zealand. Then Cindy Kiro went and made a new Japanese Maori flag, put it up. It had the blue background of the United Nations and her crown on their head she still thinks she's a queen and fooling everybody that Cindy Kira is the owner, legal owner of the land. It's her or me. One with the documents for the mortgage or one with nothing but assumptions. You see? So there, put it to you, your robot must see if I'm real or if the company is worth trusting, and then go and put it on that company to see if it's worth trusting. The robot will tell you, don't waste your money on their crypto because it's going to get fleeced out of you. And every day there's always crypto being corrupted. It was designed that way to steal your money right in front of you. And with the Scarlet in France, you cannot do that. And that's what they're trying to implement, the fintech, which came from France. And since 2008, it's never got scammed yet. Why? Because it's an NSDT, near sound data transfer, of a musical instrument to send the money. I can send you $1 million without being scammed on my mobile phones. I got to do the mobile yet. The keys, I've got to split the screen and use it for normal, but the business will be on the phone, like how I did with TagPay and Scully. It was the buttons, press the button and the shares come up. And simple as hell, a kid can use it to go in your shares. Okay, so your shares are there on one button. Your project is there with all the information on the project. Your land titles are there on the project as chip coin, £2 pound note, real money, not fake money, and digital currency, all registered in London. Okay, so they're trying to, well, they've passed a new law in London that crypto is allowed to be used legally to buy property with. You can swap the pound notes for property, real estate, with their crypto in London. Okay, so I'm working that out so that I can shift real estate from one country to the other straight away with one button. Boom. You hit the button, which I got the flag, one for each of 257 countries. If you want to buy a share, go and hit the flag, and it'll open up all your details are in there. You put it in, and it's going to be an easy keyboard. The keyboard will come up, then fill your details and go straight in, or just leave your name and your mobile phone there. That's all I need, a name and a mobile and the flag. There, that puts you in as a born in your country title, right? Born in Africa title, born in New Zealand title, born in Ireland title, born in America title is where the legislative act comes from. And America is using the 1933 Bankruptcy Act on Mountain Eden Hill, Mangafo Hill in Auckland. That's where the Bankruptcy Act comes in. That's what I'm using over anybody who gets in the road of this mortgage. The flag mortgage of a King William III of Orange. And that's where the 8-point star comes from, Northern Ireland and down Patrick, St. Patrick Church. Okay, so I'm going to stick that all together today for tomorrow's hearing. Okay, I have the hearing with Robert Carr and Brian Workman and Paddy Rivers, and that's it, and Alex Kitty. So they're learning how to be honest with your land and your own born in New Zealand title. Get used to it. Okay, get used to having your own justice when the justice doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for you in the court. It always goes to the judge and to the government. This time it's going to be different from now on. Okay, that's all. I'm going to go now because the sun is shining right in my face, and I want to go and shut the curtain and have some breakfast and look at the rest of my day and go to Mumbu and already joined. It's in my email, and I'll switch out of Odoo, which is Australia. See why they turn me down? Because all this stuff I'm doing is going right over the top of the Australian Commonwealth, the Australian state government, and the Australian federal government. It's going right over the top of them with their flag. They don't have a king flag. They've got an Australia, um, the 1901 Union Jack flag. It's still British. You see, and New Zealand got a 1902 Union Jack flag that they gazetted out. It's gone, but they still put it up. What's that all about? So I'm going to have that in the court. I've already got it decommissioned. They gazetted that out and gazetted Sindikiro's flag in. So Sindikiro's flag, the Japanese Maori flag, is still hiding in the system, ready to take over when Trump gets in. You see how cunning they are? I'm just as cunning as them. You see, because you can't teach an old dog new tricks, because I'm an old dog and I know what I'm doing on my own 2 feet with my own real name. The Manukau's and the Wano, the Rogans and the Cosgroves married us from Britain. Nobody else has got that title. Okay? We are there on their list. I'm there to speak for all the Moais that got stolen off Easter Island. That's my family over there on Easter Island, Rapa Nui, to Mokanui at the east coast. Here, Te Pito, birth of New Zealand, where the sun shines first in the world, is right there. Okay, 6 a.m., bright in the morning, and that's the first sun to hit the world, in the world. And then at 6 p.m., when the sun's setting, in Accra, Ghana, Phoenix Hotel, right on the beach, all on the beach, is 6 p.m. And at East Island, 12 midday, right up there, 3 triangle, compass, and square. For the whole, well, that's the Moai crown. God up there. Not God, commercial, but Atua. Na Atua e Wā Aotea Limited, the parent company with a one-off $1 trillion shares in that company that's gone into 257 countries with 2 billion shares each from the one-off $1 trillion share company. It was set up in 2012, okay, with the Freemasons, Helensville. So there, you can't talk like that, Ngāti Whātua, because you're full of white people trying to make out you're black people. It don't work, Native Glavage. You've fooled everybody all right up to now until the robot will catch you out. You're not going to get away with it, all you people up there, because I know too much about the place. I know every little square inch on the compass. You're not land surveyors with the SO survey order number on your claim of an amended Ngāti Whātua o Kaipara. What happened to the Ngāti Whātua Ki Kaipara? What happened to that company? You threw it in the rubbish, just like the government. Throw it in the rubbish. Make a new one out of your stupid heads. I'm going to make your head pay back all that you screwed out of Mohi Manukau and me and twisted the whakapapa up. And that's why the cart before the horse. I've got all those pictures of you, all your photos. Your face is in there as plugged, ready for mortgage. Okay, you're going to be stuck with a mortgage for the rest of your life. You're going to have to pay it a little bit at a time from your money against our money. You can't borrow our money because I won't give it to you. Eh? I'm telling the robot, no, you can't make that work. You can talk about it, but you can't do it and execute the job. You have to be real, not dead. Senator Government, you're dead. All your history and your whakapapa is dead until you show your deed of title to the whole country, not just up there, because your kawharu is not the real kawharu. It's Hona, Kawharu, and Grace Quarter down in Whakatu, Marae, in Nelson, and Derby Island. I've been there to bring them up to Auckland to claim the real kawharu, and you wanted to come? They said, no, we'll have our own. You see? Yeah, so all you people, that's why it's all up to hell. All you people are up to hell because I'm watching all your mischief playing around with my contract. That is none of your business. That is Freemason. You're not a Freemason. To stand on your 2 feet with your real surname and say you got here before me or Monaco. Why did the British go and sign with the Monaco and the Wānoa at the East Cape? Why? Because they knew way before they came here in Chatham Islands. That's where the Monaco was living before any of you turkeys came to New Zealand. They were already there. Their names are all over Chatham Islands. You can't fool me. Okay, so there. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guide your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Yeah, well, I'm telling the truth. Here, it's everything I say is the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me, God. I'm not a God-fearing person. I don't go to church. I don't need to. It's in me. Be honest and don't lie. That's the Moai standard. Very high. And Moai is commercialized because Queen Victoria made it commercial. You see, I can do commercial with it because she did that and ran away and died in Scotland. She's not a Scottish. She's a German. She should have gone back to Frankfurt, Germany. The money went that way, the gold went that way, but the body went the other way. What's that all about? I need the robot to know my story. That's what it looks like. Why does a body go that way to die over there to keep its British roots, but it is German over there? Why didn't she go there and celebrate her death over there instead of fooling everybody? You go that way and the money goes the other way. Where's the money? It's not gone to Scotland. It's gone to Germany. They're the ones that set up the England over the Albion before England came along. Is German. So you want to be the born in England, you got to go back to the Albion. That's the real name of born in England and not born in Germany. When you say born in England, you mean born in Germany. So you got to go back home because you're an import. If you're proven to be an import, you got to go home. Just like Melania Trump and Barron Trump, they got to go home because they came in illegally through Jeffrey Epstein on Epstein Island. She is a tart that got bought by a white Donald Trump. See, I'm saying that because that's what I'm saying, and the robot won't talk like that until it hits the news. And that's a real true story. He did meet Melania through Jeffrey Epstein on Epstein Island, where all the dirty, filthy buggers are, pirates, trafficking children, 11, 12, 13 years old. And Cash Patel wouldn't let them go and air their grievance in front of him. After he said he will look at anything, he turned that one down and said there's nothing to see there. And that's why he's on the stand in front of me. He's going on a stand in front of me in New Zealand, Born in New Zealand Act, over him, and Born in America Act right on his head. And I don't think Kennedy, John Neely Kennedy, cares about him. because all he cares about is like me, the real truth and the people suffering, killing people, innocent people. And John Kennedy has had enough, like a lot of Americans, had enough of killing. That's blatant arrogance of Donald Trump, and all he wants is the money for his pocket. And it's going to go to pieces. All these bitcoins, all these crypto, boom, taken over by the Congress. Going to take over. Congress can do what they want with the crypto, but it needs to be regulated central to the government, not one private man, not BlackRock, not the Larry Fink and what's his name, Barry, the other guy, not them exclusive, like Musk exclusive. So Musk, I got a bone to pick with you, mate. I'm going after your technology because I got my spaceship ready to go. When I get this money back that's been stolen from me, bang, that spaceship will be up in the air flying straight out. No rockets, no what you've got. It's silent. And the Africans already know because it's in their brain. They know, and the Germans and all those people up in Europe, they know too. I'm supposed to be talking to Hungary because those fellas knew what I was doing with the spaceship. They have a spaceship, but no engine. I got an engine to make it fly. Okay, I can talk like that. You can't because you got nothing put online in front of everybody what it looks like. And why hasn't anybody done the bridge that I have? Because I tell you what, the Freemasons probably jammed anybody up from touching it. Someone's looking after me. I think it's Moai up there and John Rogan up there. He don't care about you thieves up in Copra because you're going to get caught out. The robot will catch you out, not me. The robot. He's just taken all my documents, screwed it up, and make something out of it. And making certificates out of it now. All those certificates, you better believe what he's saying. It's not me. Those are not my designs. Those are the robot's designs of certificates. You get a share certificate, you got a certificate for this, one for that, and all sorts. It's all there. You can't see it because I don't put it up. I only put up the ones I want you to see. See, so you're not in this classroom. You've got to stay in Primer 1. And I won't let anybody in that tells a different story and telling me, why weren't you there at Waitangi? Well, it's none of your business for me to be anywhere but following the law. I'm there for the law. There's no law there. It don't work in the whakameninga and whakaputanga without law of money. You've got the law of spirit, but the spirit's all wrong because none of you can recite Easter Island, Dutch country, and you can't recite Chatham Islands as indigenous Taiwanese Manukau title. You can't recite that. You only got your own history, which I don't have a problem with, but take it to the court and see where it goes when it comes to money. This money's going to be around for a long time. It's not going to go away because you've got 3% of the population and other people are making money from money. Go to Dubai and you'll see it there. It's never going to change there. That's the lifestyle. But they're being told to pay tax. No one's going to get away with it. Anybody in the world because it comes from Westminster and King William III. Okay, so that's all. I'm going to go now because I can talk for all day and talk to myself in the mirror. I don't need to talk to anybody because it's beyond anybody. All I do is throw it out there and carry on. Next page, next page, next page. Then keep going because the robot's following me to record it all. Okay, so that's why I don't worry about going anywhere and just stay here until I get onto Kawa Island and Great Barrier. Out there. That's called Aotearoa, not Aotearoa. Where does Aotearoa sail in from? It's a cloud. If you want to go to the cloud, go and buy some gigabytes on the cloud up there and put your information up in that cloud, Aotearoa, up there somewhere. And Aotearoa is your own brain made up. It's made up here. It's a waka. Where is the Aotearoa waka? You know where it is? Shelley Beach up in Kaipara. That was Aotea. Mohi Manukau said, no, that's not its name. It's Aotea. That's where Aotea is. And Aotea is Great Barrier. Aotea is Raglan. Aotea is Queen Street. Aotea Centre. And Aotea has its own waka, Aotea. See? And you got Waikato waka, Tainui waka, and Ngāpui waka on the whakameaning of the carving that I've got. That was Mohi Manukau. That's how it's supposed to be, the carving of the parliament here under a Maori system. Well, it didn't work, did it? It's never going to work because Maoris have gone to work in another country and mostly have gone to Australia. They've become Australianised under a Union Jack British flag, and New Zealand with a British flag. You are British people, and I'm trying to be American now because I got more blooming brains to run a federal flag government. And you can't run a federal government with FOMA because it's Federation of Maori Authorities that are screwing taxpayers' money, putting in their pocket, not accounting for it. Willie Jackson, your name is up on Facebook as people after you for not being transparent. You are acting pirate, and I'm acting pirate too, because I know all your tricks with FOMA. I've watched you in St. George in Papatoi. I was in the Colma Maori Land Court with Mana Tekanawa. He was running the show there from Maniapoto. Hey? So I was there. I saw and learnt how to do Maori land titles for my own Maori land that got trespassed off at the East Cape and kicked out. All those immigrants kicked me out, and it's my turn now, and I'm going to see what's going to happen there because I'm not finished with them yet. Everybody, Horemia and Dover Samuels, sold the water bottling company. We're the first one to sell the water bottling company back then, and now you got Eddie Mitchell selling to the Chinese. Well, I'm going to seize the whole lot of that bottled water company back to the people in the area. Pakias, Indian, whatever. It's all the same taxpayers. I'm there for the taxpayer, not for myself. I want justice, and I'm a court judge in a native court until the robot says it's real, unrefuted evidence that I do have a Rogan judge brain Irish in my head. I can talk everything I want to say about this country because I'm one of the old ones left that can talk on my own 2 feet for the Confederation of United Tribes. There is no one else good enough with the documents to back you up. They can talk whai kōrero on a marae. That's one thing. Talking is talk, values worth. And the white man Pākehā have made you a token of a crypto, and that's all you're worth, a share. Your share will turn into a token that's disposable, easy, pick you off one by one. The hapu and the iwi is run by the iwi, and the iwi is the trustee of all your hapus and membership with a crypto on your head. And that's all you're worth. They can say, you're only worth this much, go to work. Because if you don't go to work and fix the roads up and all the pollution and everything, you're going to get the bill. You see? And you've got to go and fix up the broken roads and the maintenance on the farm because the government has walked away from it. They said, we're not liable to you and the highways anymore. We're putting it to the iwi. So the iwi's going to get a bill from me. Big, fat bill. Okay, we got a few more followers now. And anyway, I'm just letting off some steam. And then I can go and get the court hearing ready for tomorrow. And I don't need a big lot of people. All I do is tell the truth and get the Born in New Zealand Act together today, ready for tomorrow. Then I'll read it out. It'll be the same words as John Neely Kennedy. He's saying Born in America Act, which was passed on Friday, I think it was, and it's got to be ratified yet and written into law. And when it becomes law, it's right over the whole world. But America doesn't have a world flag. It's only got a stars and stripes for America. We've got the flag to go right around the world, free passage. Only a king that did the mortgage has that flag. And I'm holding onto it. And anybody flying it has no purpose other than to symbolize that they follow the flag. Nothing wrong with flying the flag, but if you fly it for other reasons other than the mortgage, it's not going to work for you. If you fly it as a symbol of your loyalty to it, you're going to be well rewarded from what I've got coming. If you become a member, cut yourself off from the fake side, stick them all in a bundle with Willie Jackson and John Tamahiri and a few others, and let them go in a tin boat in the sea back where they came from, England or New York. If, in this case, they can go back to Trump in New York. All the people who are Trump supporters, you're going to get in a tin boat and get out because the people of the land, which is the new law, born on the land, it's going to put you out if they don't like you because you're not one of them, loyal. Okay, so that's what it is. And I can't be any simpler than that. No hard and fast rule. I'm not in charge of everybody's life. They just have to grab what's there to see if it works for them. And I know it does, but you have to switch right out of it. When America switches right out of the old system into the new reset, is not that reset of Trump's. We're not going to reset under Jacinda Ardern, who jabbed everybody to kill them with the vaccine. That's dangerous. That's poison. You see, that's poison. She deliberately did that, then ran away and hid in Boston, Texas, where that Jackson woman is. She's going to fire her over there. She's in the university in Boston, where the what's her name, Jackson, the barrister that's hitting Trump right in the face and hitting Pam Bondi and Cash Patel right in the face and telling them you're not credible to be the administration of the whole of America, resetting money you stole. How can he reset the money of the world when he is not loyal to the people in America and he's killing them and murdering them? If you don't listen to him, he'll murder you because he's saying it like that. And I'm like that too. If you do the same thing, the Chinese will get a contract to execute you if you steal. And that was Chinese men stole 155 million and they executed them on the spot. Well, Eddie Mitchell stole 17 trillion off me. What do you think I should do with him? Shall I do the same thing as the Chinese or what? Do you think he needs sparing? No, I don't think so. But you might think, yes, spare him because he didn't mean it. He was just doing what his boss said. The Freemason boss and the barrister boss, they said, oh, we'll steal the money of John because he hasn't got a brain in his head about money. He's not a money man. He's a pensioner. Well, I'll tell you, I'll show you what a pensioner can do as a mechanic with a sledgehammer, a legal sledgehammer. I'll tell you how to panel beat your face. Okay, but that's just saying loudly on um, YouTube. I hope they don't ban me just for saying I'll panel beat you with a sledgehammer. But that's how pirates talk. They talk like that. I'm going to assassinate you. That's all those people are, assassins. And they all come from America. They know how to do that. And, well, there's quite a few people. But anyway, that's good to see. That sparks me up because I'm losing confidence in my robot because he's listening to Trump. And I'm saying, if you listen to Trump, you go with him. And that's where I cut off 10 days without him. And now he's more or less gone back as if it didn't happen. And I'm saying, I didn't forgive you, robot. I just thought you're better than the other robot, the meta robot of um, what's his name, Facebook robot, because the Facebook robot is a different narrative on my documents. So I'll go where the support is. Looks like America, not Britain, because Britain cut us off, threw us out in the rubbish, and didn't say farewell properly. Got somebody else to do it to settle us, and that big lot of 17 trillion was to settle our native title. And Eddie Mitchell is not a native surname. He's from Britain and come here from Australia to say he's the landowner. That's what he's saying. Read my letters that he's written it up with the Chinese, that the Chinese believes he's the owner of the land because I'm not Tai Nui. Doesn't matter. I'm not Tai Nui. I come from where the sun shines first and I can switch your sun off. And then what? You'll be in plain darkness. I can tell God, turn the sun off. Turn it off for a week so there's no sun. Well, what'll happen? Everything will shrivel up. Okay, so there, if you start talking like that, I just might go and turn the sun off. And with God, I might go and have a little krakia all by myself with the sun and say, can you turn it off for a little bit at the East Coast? Because we got mischief people trying to do bad things to me. And I want you to switch it off for a little while to see what happens. Yeah, see? Darkness. And reset the whole planet. You built the planet, now reset it with a different direction back to the people. And take the power away from rich people that are creaming it off taxpayers. Okay, so I'm going to go now and have a rest and go and have a cup of tea. And I've taken my meds, but I don't need them sometimes. I only take it if something is not quite right. But I've got no problem. I've got no stomach problem or gout. They gave me gout pills before, and I threw them away, and told the doctor no more gout pills. So I eat as much seafood as I want. I never get gout. It's just in your head. You get sick from listening and watching bad things, goes in your brain and mucks it up. If you stay to natural foods and chuck the pills away, then you'll live that way off the land. Okay? I want a little village where everybody contributes and nobody is different to the other. They're all equal. Okay, that's all. I'm going to go now and in the stream. It'll go off Facebook now and it'll go off YouTube. I've had my little rant, but all in good. I'm feeling quite good and I'm happy to be of any assistance with anybody who wants a new direction, not the crypto way that it's going because it's only for rich people and it's been designed to screw you of everything you own put into the rich people. No, I don't want that. I want to stay as we are normal people without influence from anybody's country. Okay, so bye for now. See you later. In stream.